I'm Ashley Dvorkin, and this is your Fox 411 RottenTomatoes.com weekend box office preview with Matt Atchity, editor-in-chief of RottenTomatoes.com. Happy Friday, Matt.
Hi, hello.
Let's start with a family-friendly 3D animated option this week, starring those Krabby Patty-loving sea creatures, SpongeBob and friends. It's the SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water. So tell us about their new adventure and what the critics have to say about it.
So for those people that are familiar with the SpongeBob universe, they know that SpongeBob is a fry cook at a restaurant called the Krusty Krab. They sell Krabby Patties, which are the best burgers under the sea, and a competitive restaurateur named Plankton is constantly trying to steal that secret formula. That's the story that goes down here. Somebody else steals it, a character named Burger Beard, as played by Antonio Banderas in a really funny role. This movie is as zany as the TV show would lead you to expect. It's basically a longer version of one of the episodes. It's a lot of fun. It's very goofy. They do end up leaving the ocean and end up in 3D CGI territory. I like this movie a lot. My 11-year-old loved it. I would say if you've never seen anything from SpongeBob, you'll be just fine here. It's very zany. Critics really like it too. It's 75% on the Tomatometer.
Okay, great. Yes, and as you mentioned, a different kind of visual style for SpongeBob, obviously, with the 3D and live animation, or live action. So next we have the futuristic sci-fi adventure Jupiter Ascending, starring Channing Tatum and Mila Kunis. Give us the scoop on this one and tell us where it ranks on the Tomatometer.
So Mila Kunis plays a young girl who is a house cleaner, kind of a janitor type, and then discovers that she's actually the queen of an intergalactic royal family, and some of those other family members are out for her blood because she has a claim to ownership of the entire Earth. A soldier comes to her rescue, played by Channing Tatum, as a soldier who's been genetically engineered, somewhat crossed with a wolf. So we see Channing Tatum not only rocking his rock-hard abs, but pointy ears as well. The critics are kind of disappointed in this. This movie is over-the-top space opera, as directed by Andy and Lana Wachowski, but the critics say that it's really kind of derivative and weirdly repetitive, although the production design does look good. So it's pretty rotten at 25% on the Tomatometer. Really kind of a disappointing film from the Wachowskis.
All right. Well, that's a 25%, and as you know, we do go in order, so it is not the lowest score this week. Finally, we have the fantasy adventure Seventh Son with Jeff Bridges, Julianne Moore, and Ben Barnes. So, Matt, what is this one all about, and what are the critics saying?
Yeah, this one, Jeff Bridges plays an aging knight who is trying to teach his apprentice, played by Ben Barnes, very quickly how to defeat an evil witch, played by Julianne Moore. This is kind of classic movie fantasy sword and sorcery tale. Unfortunately, the critics say that the plot doesn't make a lot of sense. The dialogue is really awful. And although you've got a very talented cast here, the movie doesn't really know what to do with them. And you really got what critics are saying is a disaster of a film. And some critics have said that this will be the movie to beat for the worst film of 2015. Which is really disappointing because who doesn't love Jeff Bridges?
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. Critics are really harsh on this one, so it's a lowly 8% on the Tomatometer.
Okay. Well, now it's time for a Rotten Tomatoes Roadshow, which is a look at past certified fresh films on the Tomatometer. And we're going with a theme this week, thanks to two of the new wide releases, with a look at past action, sci-fi, fantasy flicks. So, Matt, start with Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. Where did that one rank on the Tomatometer?
Star Wars is a really popular film. A lot of people got into the business of doing what I do because of Star Wars. It came out in 1977 and really kind of changed the movie business. People hadn't seen anything like it before. It's an amazing movie. It absolutely holds up. Critics went crazy over it. Still, they love it. It's absolutely worth seeing. Should you ever get the chance to see it on the big screen, go see it.
Yes, and it's at 93% on the Tomatometer. So, Matt, next, what were the critics saying about E.T., which got 98% on the Tomatometer?
Yeah, E.T. is the classic Steven Spielberg movie, noticeably snubbed at the Oscars, as happened to a lot of Spielberg movies, especially in the 80s. This is the story of a boy who makes friends with an alien who's just trying to get home. Henry Thomas is the young boy, very young Drew Barrymore here. Critics really love the humanity of this film. This is still probably one of Steven Spielberg's most powerful, best movies. It's a really amazing, heartbreaking, really touching film, and a classic, widely recognized, and as you said, 98% on the Tomatometer.
Absolutely, a great classic. And then finally, Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. So remind us why that one was such a hit, and it ranks at 91% on the Tomatometer.
Yeah, this is the movie, the first film, live-action film adaptation of the classic work by J.R.R. Tolkien. We have this terrible movie, Seventh Son, open right now, but the one to really see, if you want a good action-adventure fantasy film, the first entry of The Lord of the Rings is a great movie. It's very moving, very exciting, a great realization of Tolkien's magical world, great cast here, and the critics really praised how exciting it was, how beautiful it was, and how good the acting was. A fantastic movie all around. All three of these in the entry of this series are great to watch.
Absolutely. Okay, many movie-going options. Matt, thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
Oh, thanks for having me.
And for more on all of these films, see RottenTomatoes.com. Also, check out Fox411.com for our movie previews and cast interviews. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend. For Fox 411, I'm Ashley Dvorkin.